524-3258. Operators are standing by now. As Kathy, I would like to welcome you to the show. We're with Kathy Lee today. And Kathy, how are you today?
I'm great, thank you.
Well, we're really delighted to have you on our show. And what I like about Kathy is that just to hear her voice is healthy for people to listen to, because it's filled with optimism and being positive and enthusiasm. And it's interesting how certain people, when they speak, they can actually have an effect on the way you feel. And I think Kathy Lee is one of those people. Kathy, I'd like to welcome you to the show, and I'd like to also just have you tell your story about what happened with the Bogdana nutritional formula when you started taking it.
Well, I'm so happy to be able to tell you. There are really two reasons why. The last time I ordered my nutritional formula, I asked if there was any way that I could say something possibly on the radio, because I wanted to say two things. First of all, I wanted to thank you so much for having this spot on the radio, because through some act of God, I was driving in South Florida and was listening to the radio and heard you, and heard someone else talk about having the same problem that I had, or a similar problem. And because I heard that program, I thought, I'll just call and see what will happen if I take it. And if it doesn't work, I can always send it back. And so I did, and I'm just so excited, and I thank you so much. I do have an attitude of gratitude to you personally for having this program and for giving me the opportunity to hear about it. And then I wanted to share this with somebody else, just in case today someone might be listening that might have a similar problem to what I had, because it's been just a phenomenal thing for me.
I appreciate you saying that, but I don't want to interrupt you, because it sounds good to me. Just march on.
Well, I called the day after I heard about it and got it, and of course it comes literally overnight. Had it the very next day in my hands, and I took it, and I know you said there's usually not an overnight sensation, but that's exactly what happened for me. I have had kind of a very irregular heartbeat since I was about 10 years old, and tachycardias all my life since I was a very young child. And I was under care of a cardiologist. I've taken 2 or 3 medications to try to regulate my heart rate and stop the tachycardia, and just to deal with it. Been dealing with it all of my life. And so I just thought, I'll just try this. I did not expect it to work, had absolutely no expectations. And literally within 24 hours, my heart rate was stabilized. It has been stabilized for the months that I've been taking it all the time.
That's beautiful.
It's totally different.
That's really wonderful.
And the only thing I did, of course, it was so good I thought I should take more, so I took a little extra. But it didn't hurt me, and I felt great, and I felt so much better, and I've told so many people about it, and everybody that's taken it that I've suggested to take it has tried it, and I just want to thank you so much. I'm so excited. But there was a radical difference. I went back to my cardiologist, by the way, Robert, and I told them what I did and what had happened, and they just said, well, sometimes we find that magnesium or other trace minerals sometimes can make a difference. I said, well, why didn't somebody tell me this?
You're finally acknowledging God's creation, nutrients.
Absolutely.
And that's good to hear.
Absolutely. So I love it. I do take the right amount now, and I sometimes I'm very, very busy. I have a very big business, and I work a lot, and I'm excited all the time. So it's like a positive stress, but I'm always going and doing, and I feel so much better when I take it. But sometimes I do take a little extra in the afternoon if I feel a little low, and it seems to give me some more energy. So
now, Kathy, just to back up a little bit. For those of you just tuned in, we're talking with Kathy Lee, who's one of our customers, and she had a remarkable thing happen to her when she took the Bogdana nutritional formula. And what was the diagnosis of your heart problem? What did the doctor call it again?
Well, I have ventricular tachycardia, but I had an irregular heart rate, and it would be so bad at night, every night, not just occasionally, but it was always irregular. But when I would lie down at night, I could look down and just see it jumping and missing and jumping, bothering. And it just stopped. I mean, it didn't stop. My heart didn't stop. I mean, the irregularity stopped as soon as I started taking the formula. And I was just completely shocked. I couldn't, because I know that I didn't imagine it, because I didn't start. I didn't expect it. It was,
how much of your life?
24 hours.
But that's remarkable that it gave you that kind of help in 24 hours.